Welcome back to another edition of the StarFleet Leadership Academy. I'm joined here by Captain Kirk and Captain Kirk. And the great news is that we once again are looking into those hallowed halls of StarFleet Academy for leadership lessons that apply to your life, my life. They can happen in the life of church people. It can happen in business arenas. In other words, there are leadership lessons that you can apply to your life. These particular lessons, of course, come from the ultimate leader, the best of all time. You know him as Captain, you know him as Admiral. It is James Tiberius Kirk. James T. Kirk, the character played by William Shatner, close personal friend of mine, not really, but I've known him and meet him. I've spent 10 minutes with him this past year. So pretty incredible, I know, and I know that you're in awe and impressed. But don't send me letters about that. Instead, let's take a moment and go once again and learn some leadership lessons from Captain Kirk. And I wanted to give you two quotes today from Captain Kirk that I want to expand just a little bit in this edition. The first one is simply this. Captain Kirk once said this: "A meeting is an event where minutes are taken and hours are wasted." Again, that resonates so much with me. I've spent the most of my life in church arenas over the past 30 some odd years where that has been my feeling in every meeting that I've ever been in. Not that all meetings are bad, they're just not good. And Captain Kirk summarized very well my feelings. See, what he is saying there, though, that he had endured many boring presentations by Federation colleagues, sat through courses, sat through moments where at the end of the day, you met, but you didn't accomplish anything. It's a great leadership principle. If you're a leader, remember, lead well and lead the team that you have, and do so effectively, and don't waste their time. Nothing is worse than being in a meeting with the leader when you get through it and you feel like that was a complete waste of time. It hurts your credibility as a leader, and it hurts your effectiveness as a team. And that's part of what he was saying there. Instead, drive your meetings, if you're leading them, in such a way that you don't waste hours, but what you do is you maximize minutes. And if you can learn to do that, then that phrase that Captain Kirk just threw will never be said about you as a leader. And if you're a follower, dig into the meetings and go to the meetings and participate and make sure that you get out of that meeting what you need to know to be successful. And if you don't know what you need to know to be successful, ask the question. Now, in fairness, don't be nosy. Because in most of our situations in life, when we're doing something, we want to know a lot of information, but the lot of information that we want to know has nothing to do with what we need to do. As a follower, as a participant, as a team member, the one criteria you always want to use is, do I have what I need to know? Do I know what I need to know to be successful? In any work environment, you'll probably never know everything that you want to know. You'll probably never understand the way that it works behind the scenes or why things are the way they are exactly. You'll have ideas, you'll have theories. But can you be successful, and do you have enough to be successful? If you can do those two things, you're going to be set. Now, that's the first quote in that leadership lesson, but these are many lessons. So let me give you a second one before we wrap this one up. And it's simply this. He said this in the midst of battle, trying to explain what they were doing one time. He said, "Conquest is easy, control is not." Conquest is easy, control is not. This gets at the heart of maybe what communication is all about. It's a challenge of how you influence others. You can always beat others, be better than someone else at something. But learning to keep a project under control, keeping things where they need to be, keeping things moving forward, that's not always the easiest thing to do. And usually, the battle to get something done is a lot easier than maintaining whatever it is you're trying to get done down the road. All of it takes work. Leaders understand that. People who are involved in things understand that. But it is just as important to be willing to do something and know that you can sustain it when you're done than chalking up another win and putting another notch on your belt. That's what he was talking about in the particular context of the episode where he throws the line. But for us as leaders, we need to know that what we want to do with our lives is be productive. We want to do things that matter. We want to do things that count. We want to do things that last for an eternity. And so in order to do that, we have to be willing to do the hard work at the front end, but then also the work that needs to be done to sustain it. Take one away from the other, you haven't accomplished that much. Captain Kirk knew that, and now you know that, because you've been here in StarFleet, in the Leadership Academy, learning. I'll join you next time.